Hey everyone, so I decided to do a video for you all since I'm not able to do it live, but today was a new moon in Scorpio, and today's a little extra special because the moon or the sun was having a partial solar eclipse. It wasn't on our side, so we couldn't personally see it, but it was there. And so sometimes people get a little concerned about doing manifesting during the new moon, and there's an eclipse. There's nothing wrong with doing new moon wishes during an eclipse. The thing that gets people a little concerned is about if you have not been on the right path for yourself. Eclipses tend to push you back into your path, meaning that, let's say, for example, that you have been having a big desire to make a big career change, but you haven't taken any action towards it. Perhaps you've been ignoring it. Maybe you've gone beyond burnout and you're just overwhelmed and maybe feeling so many different feelings. And so, what happened, what can happen during an eclipse is that you maybe get let go or you get put on notice that you have 30 days or something like that. So it's a really big shakeup. So the eclipse energy, that's what happens with it, right? And that can be scary. But really, I feel like when you get pushed in a direction, I got laid off actually. I'm going to go back and look at those dates, like September 2010. um, so I'm gonna go back and look at those dates. Maybe there was an eclipse going on, and it's what I needed, right? To kind of throw me into a different direction that I needed to go into that I would have and may not have done without that, right? So remember, everything always happens for a reason. But let me go ahead and get you guys started. And today will be just a little bit different since I'm not doing it live. I am going to read a little bit from the Moonology book. So, for those of you that are new here, my name is Dr. Norma Reyes. I'm a career mindset coach and a Moonologer and a whole bunch of other stuff. But so I'm reading from the Moonology book by Yasmin Boland. So she talks about excitement, there's change for this week, a little bit about what I talked about. There's going to be climaxes, there's going to be endings. So, the energy can feel a little chaotic and intense this week. And then if you're not sure, you don't know, there's also retrogrades going on with different planets. So lots and lots and lots of different energy. All right. So now leave a comment. Let me know what your rising sign is, and I will let you know what house this energy is really going to focus on. For myself, I'm a Gemini rising, so this is going on in my sixth house. And so, your sixth house is related to your work, your daily work. I'll let you guys know what happens. So, there's a little bit of change up in my daily work activities, anything in regards to my career. So that's what is going on for me. But the new moon in Scorpio is also going to have Venus in it. So there's going to be a lot of energy in regards to love and abundance. And for myself, since it's in my sixth house, it'll probably be focusing on like, am I loving what I'm doing every day? What can I do to change my everyday situation at work or how I show up to work on a daily? What are my habits? Are they the habits of a person? Are they the habits that I want to create the career growth or whatever it is, right, that I'm wanting to do? So a lot of self-reflection on that. So before I get to getting you guys to do the new moon wishes and intentions, we'll put a little pause there in those questions. And now I'm going to ask you questions about the new moon, right? Like what the new moon in Scorpio is asking you to look at. So Scorpio is a very sensual sign, right? So it's asking you to look at what would getting sexier look like to you. All right, so maybe it's a little taboo. We don't talk about what is this getting sexier look like to you. Now, is there a sexy person around you that you know? Next question to ask yourself, would it be appropriate to get closer to them? And remember, sensual and sexy are not bad words, right? So Scorpio is a sign of taboo, talking about things that maybe people don't want to talk about. And now, let's see. Are you willing to admit one fantasy you carry out this month? Harm no one other than the sky. other than that, the sky's the limit, right? So, what fantasy that are you having that you would like to carry out this month, and are you willing to give that a try, whatever that may be? And again, it doesn't necessarily have to be anything related to sex. Oftentimes we feel like things, sensual things. I mean, it could be something like I'm going to go have a date with myself and go to a really great restaurant and literally enjoy the food, be super mindful, closing your eyes, tasting every flavor. And it could be something like that. But whatever's calling to you. Obviously, food's calling to me, so that may be something I could even see the food. I'm like, anyway. So obviously, that's what I need to do this month. Now, let's think about your finances. It's time to invest wisely. So I want you to name one debt that you are going to pay off this month. It doesn't have to be a big debt, just pick one and pay it off. And now, Scorpio is also asking you to ask yourself, are you happy with your current salary? Simple yes or no. And then maybe ideas of what you would be happy. What salary would you be happy with? And write that down. Okay. Now it's time to make some inner peace. Who do you have a grudge against right now? Who do you have a grudge against that you need to work on to forgive and let go? And the next question is, are you willing to work on it all month and forgive them at the time of the full moon? So you have 2 weeks to work on releasing this grudge against the person, and ask yourself honestly if you're willing. And if not, why not? Put it in there, write it down, allow yourself to open that door. Remember, grudges, anger, anything that we're holding on to is on us. It's not on the other person, regardless of what they did. When you're holding on to a grudge, it is on you, it is on your body. It shows up in different ways, it closes abundance. So it's important to recognize where you're holding any grudges and then begin to work to forgive them. And it may take longer than a day, it may take longer, right? Weeks, maybe. So now, what would forgiveness look like? What would forgiveness look like? And write that down. How would it feel? Feel so much lighter. Next, drop grudges. Are you going through anything that involves feelings like a power struggle with someone? If you are, write that down. And then ask yourself, are you willing to let go of that? Power struggle happens when two people are unwilling to compromise, unwilling to be willing to see the other person's perspective. And so when we're doing that, right, like almost like a holding a fist, then again, blocking that abundance, right? Are you willing to let that go? Are you willing to move forward? That's for you to think on. And it's important to take some breaths. You can do what's called prana. I may be saying it wrong, but this is when you breathe from one nostril to the other. So you take your right hand to your right nostril and you take a breath in. And then you go to the left hand, the left nostril, and you release. And then you inhale in and you exhale from the next one. All right. Practice that. That's your practice for this month. And so hopefully you've released some things there. You can go back, you can re-listen to it, pause it, what you need to do. And it's time to do some intention setting. So grab your journal, get a pen, and the first thing you want to do is write down your biggest audacious goal for this new moon's energy. And Once you've written that down, create it into an affirmation. For example, if your big audacious goal for this month, for example, the new moon is in my sixth house, so I could say my biggest goal is going to be to refresh my daily routine, how I show up at work, and then I would write down an affirmation, right? So I'm showing up refreshed with a new daily routine that is making me, show up more successfully, making me show up however it is that I want to show up. And then I want you guys to write it down and sign it with your name. It is so. So that is your big one. And then I want you to write 3 mini goals, action steps to that, right? So what would I need to do? First, I need to figure out what it is what kind of energy I want to show up. Next, what are some things I can do to show up that way? And then finally, writing it down and creating my ideal day on how I would show up and what it would look like for me. Next, you can write 3 more goals, wishes, intentions for the new moon energy. And then after each of those 3 goals, you would write an action step that you want to do, an action step that you are going to take. And so remember, that is from the Moonology book. And the questions are from Yasmin Boland. So that is it for today. I'm super excited to be able to do this for you guys. Remember to use the new moon's energy to release, to set those intentions. And in 2 weeks, I will do a release ceremony. Stay tuned for that. It'll be a full moon in Aries, so that should be exciting. Wait, let me make sure that I am saying the right full moon for you guys, because I'm like, didn't we just have full moon in Aries? Oh, it's a full moon eclipse in Taurus. Full moon eclipse in Taurus coming up in 2 weeks. So we're in eclipse season, so there's going to be lots of shifting and moving. So if you haven't been in alignment in what you truly desire to do, know that there may be some shakeups coming. Do not be afraid. Know that they're in your favor and they're for you. Begin to take steps towards what it is that you want so that they're in alignment with you and you can just ease into the change versus feeling like you're thrown into the change. Well, that is it, guys. Again, I'm Dr. Norma Reyes, career mindset coach. I look forward to reading your comments and hearing what you have to say. Thank you for watching.